Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will probably start this video with Trump appointing Erica Kirk to what? You're gonna hear in a moment. We will definitely go to the situation in Iran and what kind of poison has been sprayed over Tehran. We're gonna look into it, as well as the Trump-Putin phone call. Yeah, I give you my comments after I read the official statement from TASS. And I also want to show you a video, which is a really good video. It's an explanation, or maybe, well, it's an explanation, but it's also it's a description of a process. What happens to the soldiers that are killed during the war conflict? And let's say now the American soldiers who are in Iran, I mean, they are not in Iran, but, you know, fighting with Iran. What happens to them when they are killed? How this procedure looks like. It's a very informative video, and I hope you will take a listen to it, because when you hear it, it's, in my opinion, it makes people stop and think about how fragile life is and how much of a human factor has been forgotten in the process of sacrificing, literally sacrificing people. Before we start, before we go into those topics, as well as, I'm sorry, I didn't say one of the most important ones, which will be in the title of this video, I came across a post in which the gentleman says that Trump is essentially paying Russia to tell Iran where our troops are. So we're gonna take a listen to it. Why not? We have to have an open mind. Before we start, I want to say thank you to Klaus, Jean, Jim, and Ray for your donations on PayPal. And I would like to say to Christopher from Sweden, if you are watching me, please make sure to check your email, because you order a book, and among so many orders I had, it was, I haven't seen your payment. So make sure to check your email and provide me your mailing address, please. And I hope everyone is on track with the books at this point. I think I have 2 people that I am going to send to United States. Arranging this again, it's a hassle, can I just tell you? It's a hassle to mail stuff from Poland to the US, because you simply can't do it. Anyway, so let's start with this video, guys. Let's start with this announcement. So Erica Kirk, yeah, Erica Kirk. All right. What is this new role that she will be having? Trump appoints Erica Kirk to Air Force Academy board. President Donald Trump has named Erica Kirk, widow of slain Trump Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, to the U.S. Air Force Academy's Board of Visitors. Kirk, now CEO of Turning Point USA, will help advise to the Defense Department on issues affecting the Academy. Huh. You think she has that much experience in it? I mean, as far as her relationship with the Defense Department goes, now I think it's at the War Department, not Defense Department. She has a lot of experience, but what she can advise, guys? Can you tell me what kind of advice Erica Kirk can give? I don't know. We're gonna go into those soldiers who are being sacrificed, but now let's start. Let's jump into this guy who is saying. Actually, I'm gonna show you what he's saying, and we're gonna play this clip in a moment. He says that Trump is essentially paying Russia to tell Iran where our troops are. So let's take a listen to his opinion, and then I give you my few cents.
To provide Iran with the location of where our forces are in the Middle East during a war against Iran. Trump is letting Iran's ally Russia sell more oil to make more money, so Russia can then spend more money to gather more information on where American forces are in the Middle East. The Russians confirm this, so Russia can then give that information to its ally Iran. Iran, where American forces are in the Middle East. Trump is in effect paying Russia to help Iran attack Americans in this war. Russia just said it again. It is on Iran's side in this war. Now, what's that called again when you're fighting a war and people in your own government help a country that's helping another country that you're fighting against in the war? What's that called again? Tree surgery, treating? Never mind that A, we have no business being there. B, we are not winning. C, we are going to be there for years. Or D, Trump is going to have to cut and run. Or E, Trump is setting us up for an Iranian revenge terror attack. Oh, and a U.S. senator has now joined the hallelujah chorus, the apocalyptic end times return of the Jesus crap. Senator Kramer of North Dakota says we are there because of a biblical commitment to Israel. Iran, it is far worse than you think. On the new Monday Countdown.
All right, so I would like to tell you my opinion, if you care. This is coming from someone who is literally just a regular person. In the last several years, I have been watching politics much more closely than I ever was before. So I say now what I think, because a lot of us are just people who are using common sense and are connecting the dots. Many of you already know that I don't trust absolutely any government at this point, and I think they are all connected and they know very well what's going on, and they play the game. Now, China was buying the oil from Iran. I think pretty significant percentage of orders of that oil from Iran were coming from China, right? So if Iran is being in this conflict and Iran's oil refinery, I don't know how to say this word, the places that produce oil, right, are being affected because there are explosions and the access is definitely limited. Where China is going to buy oil from who? Instead of, right? Don't you think they will go to Russia, because Russia definitely has oil? What comes to my mind a lot lately is those visits from Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner to the Kremlin, the smiling face of Putin number 1, Putin number 2, Putin number 3, God only knows who they used for Putin in those meetings. The goofy one, they used the goofy one, the same one that went to Alaska, because they have different types. And no, I'm not joking and I'm not crazy, because that's actually another thing that is existing in this world. Some people are aware of it, some people are not. And I'm not just talking about doubles. I'm talking about people literally being cloned. And maybe I should find the video for you. But before I do that, I want to say, on that note, those remaining Epstein files, I was thinking about this too, actually just came to my mind some time ago. What was in it, right? Like, they don't want to release it. In my opinion, one of the most important parts of those files is how many of the people that are so-called leaders are not actually the real people. I think that's what it is. The cloning facilities, all this scientific research they have been doing, and how they have been switching and replacing people, like how many Bill Gates we have seen at this point. I know some of you are not resonating with what I'm saying, but it's just a matter of time when stuff like that I am describing is going to be something that you accept as the truth, because I think that was in this is in those Epstein files that were not released, and that includes Putin, Trump, many other people. Okay, so now this would make sense, right? Because Chabad Lubavitch absolutely, pulls the strings here and tells them what to do. the handler and the White House, the handler and the Kremlin, they have the right rabbis in place. So now, don't you think that this is really one of the obvious who wins, right? I mean, not who wins, who profits? Who profits? Think about it. The business between US and Russia at this point agreed. Witkoff and Kushner, many visits over there. And now they have this phone call, like for the public. So let's read from official TASS website what was discussed during this phone call between Trump and Putin, March 10th, which is today. Putin, Trump discussed Iran, Ukraine, Venezuela in their first phone call this year. This conversation was the first one between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump in more than 2 months. So, Moscow. On Monday, Russian President Vladimir Putin had a phone call with US leader Donald Trump. According to Kremlin, Yuri Ushakov, the hour-long call held at the US initiative focused on the conflicts around Iran and in Ukraine and the situation in Venezuela. The conversation was the first between Putin and Trump in more than 2 months, and their first publicly reported phone call since the US-Israeli attack on Iran. Okay, let's go into it. So what did they discuss? Iran. Naturally, the emphasis was placed on the situation around the conflict with Iran, Ushakov said. The Russian president outlined a number of ideas aimed at resolving the conflict as quickly as possible through political and diplomatic means, including with regard to his recent contacts with Gulf leaders, Iranian President Pezeshkian, and a number of other leaders. For his part, the US president shared his assessment of the situation in the context of the ongoing US-Israeli operation, the Russian diplomat said. A detailed exchange of opinion took place in that regard, which I believe the sides will find useful. So blah, 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 blah. This is the official for the public statement. If you want to read it, the link will be attached down below in the description box. Meanwhile, Iran. I have to address one more thing, those sleeper cells. Okay, before I do the comment on sleeper cells. Dioxide and nitrogen oxides is causing skin burns and severe lung damage. Black rain, nuclear winter, and broad daylight. Israeli strikes on Tehran's oil facilities have triggered an environmental catastrophe unlike anything the city has seen. Toxic black rain is falling on millions of residents, burning skin, destroying lungs, and coating entire neighborhoods in oily, corrosive soot or soot. I'm not sure how to say it. Dense smoke from the Shahran refinery has literally blocked out the sun, plunging parts of Tehran into darkness midday. What you're seeing isn't a filter. This is real life for 9 million people right now. So here is what's happening on the ground. Acidic black rain mixed with the sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides is causing skin burns and severe lung damage. Rooftops, streets, and balconies blanketed in thick, murky black liquid. Long-term risk of heavy metals like nickel and vanadium leaching into water and soil. Migratory birds crossing the Persian Gulf now at severe risk. Iranian Red Crescent urging residents to stay indoors and cover all food. This isn't just a military story, this is a humanitarian and environmental emergency. So that's what they do, right? That's what they like to do. Israel and co. Let's take a listen to this guy, and then I have to give you a few more comments.
Hey, we poisoned Tehran, the entire city, a city of 8 million people. It is now raining oil on these people. That's not a joke. And they're all breathing this in. They're all going to get fucking cancer. Multiple generations after them are going to be born with fucking deformities and shit. This is because Donald J. Trump and Israel, the axis of Epstein, is the most evil, cruel empire in human fucking history. Please name one single other nation that has spilt more blood in its history than the axis of Epstein, the combination of the United States of America and Israel. You can't do it. By the way, to every single soldier who was about to be deployed and to fight and die for Israel, I can't say that. I cannot say that. But I can think it. Oh, I can think it.
So now I want to tell you what I think about those sleeper cells. Now there are those warnings in the United States that those sleeper cells, Iranian sleeper cells, will be activated. What I think you know what I think. I will say 9/11. That's what I think. So who's gonna do any form of attack, which I think it's almost the hard word to pronounce, inevitable, almost inevitable to happen, to convince American public that this war should be justified, because they didn't have the attack before attacking Iran. They might have this attack after attacking Iran because people are not excited about this war at all. Nowhere, pretty much. I mean, there are some who believe that what the governments tell them, the so-called leaders, especially of those two countries, right? So those sleeper cells will be an excuse, because I'm not sure what they're going to do. The country that should not be mentioned. But will they recreate something like this? What they just did in Iran? What was the name of it again? This black rain? The black rain, right? What do you think, guys? Very possible. So now I will definitely show you the video about cloning that I have from 1999, I think. I just have to find it. And I think that is in those Epstein files that were not released, okay? Like literally the evidence of it, and literally the names of the people and how many times they have been reproduced or recreated, let's put this way. But first I want to take you to this video, how this process of dead soldiers returning back home looks like, because we have to really stop for a moment and think about it. Like, why would you participate in this? Because you're under oath, because you promised to do it? Let's take a listen.
Most Americans don't know what happens when we lose one of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, or Coast Guardsmen in combat. So let me tell you what happened. Their buddies wrap them up in whatever passes as a shroud, puts them on a helicopter as a routine, and sends them home. Their first stop along the way is when they're packed in ice, typically at the airhead, and then they're flown to usually Europe, where they're then packed in ice again and flown to Dover Air Force Base, where Dover takes care of the remains, embalms them, meticulously dresses them in their uniform with the medals that they've earned, the emblems of their service, and then puts them on another airplane linked up with a casualty officer escort that takes them home. That's the process. While that's happening, a casualty officer typically goes to the home very early in the morning and waits for the first lights to come on. And then he knocks on the door. Typically the mom and dad will answer, wife. And if there is a wife, this is happening in 2 different places. If the parents are divorced, 3 different places. And the casualty officer proceeds to break the heart of a family member and stays with that family until, for a long, long time, even after the internment. So that's what happens. Who are these young men and women? They are the best 1% this country produces. Most Americans don't.
So that's how this looks like. Imagine to be that person that goes from house to house and breaks people's hearts. Imagine job like that. You have to numb yourself, or I don't know. I don't know. I found the video, guys. This is very interesting video from 1999. Let me find it right here for you. Just give me a moment. Here it is. Okay. Before I play it, I want to read this. In 1999, 60 Minutes did a segment on human cloning. This is very real and scary. So let's take a listen, everyone. Let me just mute myself first.
Speaking, it would be legal to clone me, for example, tomorrow. And this is the place it's most likely to happen, a leading IVF clinic outside of New York. Behind those walls, there are people with the technology, the ability, and the desire to genetically engineer human embryos, to be the first in the world to successfully clone a human being.
There's no doubt that human beings will be cloned.
Dr. Jacques Cohen, a leader in his field, simply needs the approval of his clinic's ethics committee to make history. So if I had the money, you had the permission, you could clone me tomorrow.
Well, I wouldn't say tomorrow. It will take a year or two. We could clone you probably within 2 years.
What you're seeing here is an actual cloning taking place at the research facility in Scotland that pioneered the technique. In theory, it's blindingly simple. Here, it's an animal, but just as easily, you can take a cell from a human. A scraping of skin will do. Then, get an egg from a female, remove the nucleus and fuse the two with a spark of electricity. And ta-da, you have an embryo. Implant the embryo in a woman, and 9 months later, you have a carbon copy of the person from whom the skin scraping was taken. Strictly speaking, it would be legal to clone me, for example, tomorrow. And this is the place.
So I repeat it again. This is from 1999. And let's ask ourselves, don't you think Epstein and those who, because he was just a puppet for, other people without, or creatures or demons without the names. Some names we know, but even those with the names that we know are not the most significant. The most significant are those that we don't know the names, okay? So in my opinion, I absolutely believe that this is what is in that remaining Epstein files. And I mean, imagine if people don't use their own intuition now, you literally have to unblock your third eye and see through all of this, because if you don't, you still believe what you are being shown. Some things are actually happening. For example, let me show you this. What a news. So here we have Israeli coalition members who propose bill to make it illegal to publicly speak about Jesus Christ. Let's read this. 2 members of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's coalition in Israel have introduced legislation that would criminalize sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a crime. That would be a crime. The bill, introduced by United Torah Judaism Knesset members Moshe Gafni and Yaakov Asher, would make it illegal to share the message of Jesus in conversation, online, in print, or through mail. Individuals who attempt to share the gospel could face up to 1 year in prison or up to 2 years if the message is shared with someone under the age of 18. The explanation attached to the bill specifically warns against Christian evangelism and calls for penalties for those who attempt to convert others by sharing the message of Jesus. So,
just before, days before Palm Sunday.
One moment, because I have to mute myself, and the guy is speaking.
Sunday, Good Friday, and Easter, sacred time for Christians. Two ultra-Orthodox members of Prime Minister Netanyahu's coalition have introduced a bill that would punish believers for sharing the gospel of Jesus with prison time. United Torah Judaism Knesset members Moshe Gafni and Yaakov Asher introduced legislation last week making it illegal to share in conversation or produce content online, in print, or by mail. Their explanation of the bill emphasizes a warning to stop Christians in particular. The punishment, 1 year in prison or 2 years for sharing with someone under the age of 18. Just before, days before Palm Sunday, Good Friday, and
So yeah, but of course, talking about their God, their Messiah, the Satan, that's okay. I have to find another video since I am bringing this to you guys, because this was just after Tucker was bringing out the topic of Chabad Lubavitch. So just give me a moment. I have to find it. I have to find it among all many links that I have right here. So bear with me. Here we go. Okay, before we play it. This is about Messiah return, not Jesus. You cannot mention Jesus. Messiah return. From Chabad people, Chabad believers, Lubavitch.
Is there any truth to what he's saying to Tucker?
There's a lot of truth to what he's saying.
What's true?
We want the Beis HaMikdash.
Well, this guy's about to expose everyone over here.
Let's hear this out. What do we want?
We want.
There we go.
One more time. We want.
Mashiach now.
There we go. What about
What is-
Miriam? We want.
Mashiach now.
What is Mashiach?
It's when the sun comes and we could see the Beis HaMikdash.
Very
Oh,
good,
that's
Maya.
beautiful. And how are we going to build the Beis HaMikdash?
It's already built.
It's in Shemayim. It's waiting for us to do a lot of mitzvahs, right? It's beautiful. So Tucker, this little boy over here, outsmarted you by far.
He said the Beis HaMikdash is already built. It's just waiting for us to bring the redemption. In the Jewish belief, and I believe in also many other beliefs, there's going to come a day that the world will be a perfect version of this world. The world we live in now is not a perfect version. There's a lot of
What do you say? What do you say?
The Rebbe said very clearly, and we try to live our lives like this, even if we have everything in the world, materially, spiritually. The Rebbe taught us that if there's one tiny corner that's still dark, Mashiach's not here yet, and it's our job to bring light there. That's what we're here for.
Beautiful. So you're not going to tear down Al-Aqsa?
No, not with my hands, but with our Torah and mitzvahs.
Bring heaven down to earth.
Is there any truth to what he's saying?
So bringing the light and heaven down to earth, that's how the project of Great New Israel is, that's what this project is built on. I think that's all I have for you today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I want to just show you one more thing, and this is personal, because I have this new book that I have just published for children, book number 2. And I forgot about it because this is about Formula One driver Ayrton Senna. It's a really great story. And when my father was still alive, he was able actually to see this book and to hold this book in his hands before he transitioned, which is very, very meaningful to me. Many of you know, who have been following me for a number of years, that my father was an expert in automotive, if I said correctly, industry. He designed the engine to one of the very known motorcycles called Yunak, and he was the main engineer and constructor to that motorcycle and his production. Because of him, actually that motorcycle went into production. So here is the book. I just wanted to show you my father. He was really happy when he saw this book. And I was happy that I could present this to you. So if you would like to support my work, you can order it. The link is down below this video, or you can choose the book number 1. There are a few more books coming. Thank you everyone who is supporting me on Patreon and Locals and who donates on PayPal. It really means a lot to me, and I'm very, very grateful for all your support, energy, and being here with me. I will attach the links down below in the description box, so you can watch it and read it if you want to. And let me know, what do you think? What could be in those remaining Epstein files that they are not willing to present to the public? Lots of love, everyone. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Bye, guys.